Wow, it's official.
We're here.
It's officially official. We have a podcast.
A real one. A real podcast. We in a real podcast studio.
My
It's been a long
gosh,
time
been
coming.
A long time coming. Like longer than we, would like to admit. But it's cool. We here now.
It's all a part of the journey.
Yeah. Well, I think we officially shot we shot our first episode in 2020.
2020, I think the end of 2020.
We recorded 2 episodes, and we didn't like the first one. And then, how did that happen?
It's been so long. I don't know if I think we were okay with the second one. We just didn't know what to do with it. Once we
Yeah.
recorded it, it was just kind of like, how do we edit this thing?
Right. And
What are
you
we
felt
supposed to
like we were ready. I felt like we wasn't ready.
I feel like we were ready. We just didn't know what we were doing
Yeah.
after the recording. I think we were ready for the
Yeah.
recording. So, yeah, I guess we weren't ready.
Yeah, right.
But-
But it's all good. We here now. We're here to stay. We're gonna stay consistent. We locked in, ready to give you all this good content.
And we got VAR on our side
Yeah,
now.
we got VAR on our side, so we can't lose. Shout out to VAR. Shout out to, matter of fact, we're in the studio, shameless plug. We want to shout out to VAR and them hosting us, man. They are extremely hospitable, professional, and yeah, we just looking forward to getting this going.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so much that we're going to be talking about as it relates to like the Love Made of Steel podcast. But it's just so funny how we came up with this name. Well, actually, we didn't come up with the name, right?
We didn't.
So, I proposed in 2017, and our last name is Steel. And you have people like just play on our name, like, oh my gosh, still me for life, my hand's still shaking, things like that. And so we had like
All the hashtags.
Still in Love 2018. What was another one? It was just a bunch of them.
Yeah. And one of them was Love Made of
And
Steel.
then one of them was Love Made of Steel, and that just stuck.
Yeah. I
And-
think that one fits us the best.
Yeah, it fits us
Our
the best.
story. A lot of them are applicable, I guess, but
Right,
that one really
right.
fits our journey, our story.
Right.
We didn't just meet in 2015.
Oh no. You know what? Look.
Yeah,
don't
we'll
that.
get
Yeah,
there.
We'll get
Okay,
there.
okay.
But who are you?
I am Ariane Seal. I am a wife. I am an expecting mother.
Oh, hold on.
We-
Look, we just went to the doctor too. And how big is she right now?
Baby girl is 3 pounds 6 ounces and growing. She'll be here in less than 10 weeks.
It's over
So,
for me, y'all. It's over with
oh,
me.
she's gonna have him wrapped around her finger
Y'all ain't gonna see me.
2
I'm
or
being
3 times,
Just
probably.
playing all day. But I'm sorry, because yeah.
I am a school psychologist and I am a growing influencer.
Okay, growing influencer. Look, I like that. Yeah, so my name is Antoine Steele. Most people call me Twan. I am an author. I am a coach. I'm a speaker. And we are both entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And we have a nonprofit called Student Navigation. And we're doing a lot for the community, doing a lot for the youth. But again, we don't want to go heavy
They don't
into
get
that
to know
because
all
we
of
can
that,
be talking
all
about
of those
all of
things
those
about
things.
us.
But yeah, so tell me a little bit about this Love Made of Steel. Like what we gonna be?
I think Love Made of Steel in a nutshell is really us exploring relationships, having conversations around those relationships, the things that we're learning in
Yeah.
relationships, and not just our relationship as far as our marriage,
Right.
but our friendships,
Yeah.
our family, the things that we have experienced, the things that we are still growing through, learning through, and really not to make ourselves these relationship experts, but more so to kind of share our stories and hope that you can take something from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's that's exactly how I feel. I feel that it's just like there is so many aspects of love. There's so
Yeah.
many aspects of relationships. There's so many aspects of sex. There's so many aspects of lifestyle.
You
And
love the sex conversation
Oh
part.
yeah, I'm definitely we gonna talk about some sex, but I mean really, look, this is PG, right?
Married sex,
This
y'all.
is PG, yeah. Married sex is the best sex. If anybody is wondering, thinking Twan is out here just telling y'all that y'all can go ahead and have sex. That's not what we're saying. But I just think that, our last name is Steel. Love Made of Steel is about just being tried and true. It's about going through
Yeah.
the fire. It's about being forged. And it's not just about, like you said, marriage, our marriage. It's about friendships because that takes time. It's about family. It's about purpose. It's about the things that we do in our everyday lives. So this is so much more deeper than just some lovey-dovey stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about our experiences, as it relates to us personally. as it relates to, you know, our relationships, as it relates to, you know, our love.
I think
And-
that's why we chose Love Made Us Steal as the hashtag that fits us best,
Yeah.
because we didn't post each other on social media until we were engaged.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of people look at us and assume that they know our story, assume that it's one of just, they met in 2015, they got engaged in 2017 and married in 2018. It is
Yeah.
a lovey-dovey
Yeah,
story.
It was all perfect.
Yes, and I-
relationship goals. Yeah.
But the reason Love Made Us Steal stuck out to me is because we had actually, a lot of people don't know, we met in 2008.
Yeah.
Years before we even were dating
Come on, well, let's talk about it then.
officially.
And
I mean, your version or my version? How did we meet?
No, it's not your version or my version. It's the version.
No.
It's the truth. All right. So
Okay,
let's just go ahead-
I'll
let's
let
just-
you start.
Okay, let's just go ahead and put this out there. I seen her on Facebook, right? I seen her on Facebook. I was at my parents' house. I was browsing Facebook like a creep. I came across this
Not a
beautiful woman's
creep.
page, and I was just like, well, I'm sorry. I was browsing Facebook like a creep. I was browsing her page like a creep. That did sound weird. Browsing Facebook like a creep.
Like, just pick one.
I was browsing her page like a creep when I came across it. And I was just like, man, who is this woman? I mean, you know how like the whole Cupid struck by love? Like, I'm not trying to be like on some like fantasy type stuff, but I really was just like, man, who is this woman? She is beautiful.
Thank
And then I
you.
seen that we had a mutual friend, shout out to Bianca, and I reached
Love
out
you,
to
B.
her. And I inquired, and when I started, you know, when she started talking about Ariane, she was just saying how she was respectful, she was smart, she was sweet, she was creative. It was all these good qualities that you possess that I always wanted in a woman. Like,
Okay.
I'm young, but it's at the end of the day, it's like I do want a good girl.
Yeah, you were very young. Well,
And yeah, we was 19 and 21, and I'm like, oh man, like I felt like I love her already, and I don't even know her.
oh, wow.
But, you know, I was going to take my time. I wasn't going to rush into it. You know, I'm just like, I'm going to shoot her a little Facebook. I add her, you know, on Facebook as a friend. And, you know, we're going to, you know, let that marinate for a second. But, you know, go ahead.
And then what?
Go ahead. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Okay. So, and then I got a call from Bianca. He likes to leave that part out. I got a call from Bianca, our mutual friend. We had gone to high school together. She was telling me how this guy, who she considered her brother, was really interested in talking to me and
Facts.
all of these things. So she basically like set you up real nicely.
Yeah.
So yeah, what he wants me to admit
No, I
to
just
the
want you
people
to just tell the truth. That's all.
is that when he added me on Facebook, I sent the first message.
She slid in my DMs, y'all.
Where he
Before
called
we was
DMs?
even saying it was DMs. Well, it's
It
direct
was
message.
Facebook Messenger.
Direct
maybe.
message. Yeah.
Okay, but I wasn't saying nothing. It wasn't like a real shooting the shot, anything like that. It was more like,
Letting
hey,
it be
new
known.
friend.
Let it be
All I
known.
said was hi.
Yeah, but you know how women, y'all have y'all ways of like saying these things. It's like it doesn't have to be
Hi.
super direct, but it's like,
I mean, I wasn't like sending you emojis or
all right, so
anything.
let me ask you this. If you wasn't interested, would you have said hi?
I mean, I don't know. Anywho,
See? Look. Well, go ahead.
we
So what happened next? So what happened next?
we met each other.
So
right?
yeah,
We went out on a date a
we
few
excha-
months
then we,
later.
we exchanged numbers
Yeah.
online, and then we ended up going out on a date. Our first date was at Red Lobster, right? And yeah, what happened then?
Oh, well, tell him about Red Lobster.
Okay.
Red Lobster was a little bit of a disaster at first.
Why?
I had to fix my hair.
Well, oh, you know, you good.
It's good?
No, you
Okay.
looking good.
Thank you.
You looking good. Hold on, let me look. Look, we could look. Yeah, we about to
Yeah,
show y'all
thank
marriage.
you.
We about to show y'all marriage in real time.
Thank you.
Is it good? Is it good? Are we
Okay.
good? We good? Yeah. Like, look, we ain't gotta be super
Like, I'm
formal
getting
now.
cues.
Like,
I'm like, okay.
yeah. But so we ended up going to Red Lobster, and the date seemed like it was cool. We not introduced, but we had reconnected from talking on
It
the
was
phone,
going great
on the phone,
until,
whatever. But then your food came out,
yeah.
and I said that her food looked like throw up. Now,
I mean, who says that?
when I said her food looked like throw up, I didn't think, like, I wasn't in my mind like this is rude.
Was it the nerves?
But when I said it, I was just like, Oh my gosh. Like, and she, like, her whole mood just changed. She just was like so disinterested.
Because this is what I'm about to eat. And as soon as it came out, he was like, ew, I like throw up.
And I'm just like,
And y'all, it wasn't nothing crazy. It was like a crab pasta. So you felt like the shredded up crab looked like.
I don't
Throw
know,
up.
but that was in my college days. So I was kicking it. So I don't know what was on my mind, but all I know is the vibe completely changed, and I'm just like, man, it's over with. And I really like this girl. I don't really know her, but I just like her. So the conversation kind of just like, it was cool. You was still being cordial, still like nice,
I
but
was still pleasant, but
but
it was just
yeah.
kind of like
almost like I'm
who
over
is this
this.
guy? I'm annoyed.
Yeah. So when it got time for us to leave, I'm just like, man, I can't let us leave like this, because if we leave like this, like, we through, like, it's over with. And I'm like, you want to just sit in the car, maybe talk for a little bit? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that. And that me asking her that led to us talking probably for like 2 or 3 hours. Like, there was no more cars in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The restaurant closed. That was it. It was just talking.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Yeah,
Probably
just
shouldn't have
talking.
been in your car.
Just talking. I mean, but you liked me. You slid in my DM, so you was already comfortable.
Back to that.
But anyway, so we don't want to make that part. I mean, this part of our story drawn out. But we ended up talking from like what, August to like January, and then you pretty much broke my heart.
Oh, here we go.
You played me. And I'm talking about, I was like, y'all, listen, I mean, back in the day, I had my ways. I was a little playerish. But when I, started rocking with her, I was on it. I'm talking about, I'm driving. I used to live in Bowling Green.
Okay.
So Bowling Green is 2 hours from Columbus. She went to Ohio State. So I used to drive from Bowling Green without, and just pull up on her with flowers. And I would surprise her with gifts and stuff like that. I was the good guy of the year. The best good guy of the year. I wasn't even the boyfriend. I don't know what I was. I was just the side dude.
Dude.
I was the side dude of the side dude.
No. What happened was things were
like,
never
you making me sound
official.
bad.
You're
Yeah,
making me
right.
sound crazy. Things were never official.
Right.
We lived in 2 different cities, and you were a party promoter.
I do not like when you say that.
I mean, what would you call it?
I threw parties. I just like,
I
did
throw
events.
parties.
I don't like that party promoter. I don't like that.
Party promoter, you throw parties. Anywho, that's what you were doing at the time. You were a college student. That's
Okay.
what you was into.
All right, whatever.
He threw parties. We'll say that. And, I was young, had been through a couple little bad relationships. And
Right.
so I was not in a place where I trusted this guy who lived 2.5 hours away and
Yeah.
had this reputation
that's
of being out kicking it in every party,
Yeah.
throwing every party.
But she was all kicking it too.
Not in that way. But
You was
like,
kicking it. You was in
okay.
the club.
I was not throwing
You
a
was
party.
definitely in the
Sir,
mix. You weren't throwing no parties, but you was in the mix.
This is a whole new life.
Like Ariana was in the mix. But yeah, so that we kind of like ended up parting ways.
Yeah,
and
we went our
on to
separate ways.
Date other people, talk to other people, or whatever. But then there was a point where I committed my life to Christ in 2011. You were like doing your own thing. So at that point, I'm not thinking like, oh, we will ever, really reconnect like that. But there was always still that one person. It's just like that one, like
The one that got away.
the one that got away.
Yes.
And I think we
Yes.
both may have have felt that at different points in our lives.
Yeah.
And then there were just different things that after that, this is years later, but after that, there would be just certain situations where we would or events where we would bump into each other. or
Yeah.
whatnot.
And it was always like it was always good vibes, love between, but we never dated.
Yeah.
And like you said, we both got to a point where you recommitted your life to Christ. A couple years later, I recommitted my life to Christ, but we also had our separate single seasons.
Yeah.
Where, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to date anybody. You went through a season where you don't want to date anybody.
Yeah.
And when I finally moved back to Cleveland in 2015, we reconnected. I moved back for graduate school, and that's where we kind of, at the end of 2015,
But the way that we reconnected was we were doing this when we had the nonprofit NLD, New Level Disciples, and me, DJ, and it was like a few of us when we used to do these events. Let's talk about it, where we would get millennials together to talk about relevant conversations. And you claimed that you were going to support Ashley, but really,
Ashley is one of my closest friends.
Who was a
and
part of
she was
NLD
a
at
part
the
of the
time.
committee.
but I feel like Ariane was really coming because of me, but she's not gonna say that. You know, she's not gonna admit that. But I feel like she was coming because of me, and
So I just was not coming to support my friend.
and she had perfect
I just
attendance,
had-
by the way. She didn't miss one. These was every month.
Okay,
And
it
she
was
did-
only like 3 or 4 of them. How many was?
Was it maybe like 5 or 6? For real?
I came
no,
to
because we
Columbus.
started in January.
Okay,
start-
so
yeah, and we
I
probably-
came from Columbus maybe
Yeah, driving
3
up.
times.
She was driving up from
on the
Columbus
weekend.
to come see me, talking about I'm supporting
I
Ashley.
was coming to
I'm
see
letting y'all know
Ashley.
right now, man. Ariane, she knew what she wanted. And she went about it in indirect ways. You can front for the cameras.
Nah,
it is what it is.
I'm gonna
you
tell the
look, we
people
married
a whole
now.
lot of truth.
Look,
a whole lot of truth
we
along the
married.
journey
It's all good.
about who was really chasing who.
Well, who? I mean, I ain't got no problem saying, yeah, I chased you. Shoot, I used to drive 2 hours to come see you. Look, you the one that, you know what I'm saying, that's a shame. I
I
ain't ashamed.
know. I'm just saying
I ain't
NLD
ashamed.
was not all about Antoine Steele.
Okay. So we ended up after seeing each other for a while, like just being in each other's like presence on a more consistent basis,
Yeah.
on a monthly basis. I think it kind of like started to draw us, you know, a little more.
Yeah.
And then, wow, November. This was like Thanksgiving, 2015. We was sitting in the car, and I think this was right before we was getting ready to go into one of your family members' house.
Yeah.
And we was like, let's just make this official.
Kind of. That's
Right.
I think what the real story is that we were going into a family member's house, and once we got in there, you passed me like an old schoolyard note, like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" You don't want to tell the people that?
Okay. Oh, I don't got a problem. I forgot. But yeah, I did do that. But I thought we talked in the car beforehand. No?
I mean, we talked about the progression of our relationship to
Okay.
officially.
And I slid her
dating.
a little love note, you know, just like on some like will you be mine? And you know, what did you write? Yeah.
I ain't write nothing. It was like a checkbox type thing. You even
Well,
had
you-
like the
you
little
checked
2
it.
boxes.
And you checked it.
You passed me a pen too?
Yeah,
I don't
you checked.
remember
You
that
checked
part.
it. You checked. So I just gave you a note, and you just
You
looked
didn't
at
even
it.
remember the note.
I do remember it though, because I remember
No.
taking a picture of it.
Okay.
But anyway, listen. So that's not the point, because I'm like, well, hold on, we got to.
Like, where's that note? Now we gotta go see if it
find
has
that
a
note.
check mark.
I deleted it. It's on my phone. But no, so we ended up making it official, which was like a long time coming for us, because we met in 2008. We acted as if we were together at times, you know, just like spending a lot of time with each other. We act like we were really like officially boyfriend and girlfriend, but we never had that official title.
Yeah.
Then we reconnected at, you know, different periods of our time, in different periods of life before 2015. But there was like, you know, talk, like I'm cool, like nothing really like super serious.
Yeah.
But 2015, we are officially, you know, a couple. Like you are my girlfriend or significant other, your boyfriend or significant other or whatnot. And then maybe a few weeks after that,
What happened?
I'm like, and I'm so ashamed to say this, but I'm like, you know what? I'm like, we've known each other for, you know, all these years. I know your family, you know my family. I love you, you love me. We should just go ahead and get married.
Yeah, it was a real janky proposal.
And you was like, really? Like, huh? I'm like, no, for real. Like, we should just go ahead and just get married. And we start planning this wedding that
Yeah.
nobody knew about. I
No,
didn't get
not-
Ariana a ring.
You didn't even get down on one knee or anything.
I didn't get down on
It
one
was just
knee.
like, we should get married.
And you was like hesitant, but you was on it though. And we started looking at venues, and we was looking at venues in Menor. We was looking at venues downtown Cleveland.
Mind y'all,
we
I'm in
walking in, they got
graduate
our.
school.
Oh yeah, I left my job.
You had just left your job.
Yeah, I
we
left-
had no financial.
That's crazy.
Nothing.
Yeah, I left my
No
job. I left my
security at
job
all.
in October 2015, and I asked you in December of 2015.
Yeah.
But I think that, and we've talked about this, but I think that one of the real reasons that was driving me to do that at that moment was lust.
Okay.
I was just like, man, I can't keep like waiting. I'm like, I've been waiting for a long time.
And that was not a part of our conversation. The way you pitched the
Yeah.
conversation was like, we already know each other.
But no, but that was also a part of it. That's like the logic behind it. But really,
Yeah.
like the real thing that was like driving me was like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's
You don't
rather,
wanna wait.
Yeah, I don't want
You
to
don't wanna
wait.
wait
I'd
no
rather,
more.
you know what I'm saying? I'd rather go ahead and get married than burn in lust. Like, so I'm just like, let's do it. But that's a whole nother conversation in itself of how we make decisions based off our flesh and how that leads to, destruction or whatnot. But we going into these venues, they got our names on the
like big on screens, like welcome Twan and Ariane, just to tour wedding venues that we could not afford.
Couldn't even afford. We talking about I'm like, look, so I'll do Uber every day, and you like, I'll make shirts. And it was like, what, we really thought we was about to do that?
Just completely out of turn. Long story short, y'all, even from 2015, there were several ups and downs. At one point, Twan was really focused on his book, and you should have been.
That was in top of 2016.
Yep.
Single to single.
Single to single. And at that point, it was just kind of like, well, first thing we did was call off the wedding that wasn't really a wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, we did that. I mean, we weren't calling it off to anybody but our mothers.
Yeah.
Because those are the only two people that we had told about it.
Yeah.
But and I'm surprised they weren't more adamant and like, what are y'all doing?
Because I think
maybe they knew.
I think with us and our family, we are like so headstrong, and we are looked at in a certain way, like, oh, we can handle it,
or we gonna figure it out. Yes, but we called it off ourselves, and we
kind of like stopped talking.
Yeah. Well, we were talking for a little bit, and then single to single was a focus, and you felt like you had already committed, and you had committed to doing that in the rawness of your singleness, meaning that you wanted to be not single and dating, but completely single, in order to really pour everything into that book that you wanted it to be.
I had left my job.
Yeah.
Like, I left a promising career to really sacrifice and get this book done. I remember there was points where I'm like, the book is going to be released on my birthday of 2016, February 2016.
Yeah, and
but the book didn't get released to January 2017.
Right.
I would literally get up every morning. I maybe had like $10,000 saved to my name. But because I thought the book would be released sooner, I thought the book would just kind of like start making me money. But, I had bills, so that money started to dwindle down. I would literally get up every morning from 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and go drive and do Uber. There was times where I would literally I would wake up, my alarm wake me up, I would turn the app on before I got dressed, and before I can even finish putting my clothes on, I was getting like a request, and I would have to rush out the house or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
The point of her saying like the point of me saying that is because she said the rawness of my singleness, and I had committed to finishing this book, before I really started moving forward with someone, which was Ariane, and I kind of like just went out of turn, and
not just even moving forward with someone. You didn't even want to date anyone while you were writing it. So after we called off the wedding, the fake wedding, that's what we call it. After you called that off, we had another hard conversation where it was just kind of like, we don't even need to be together right now. I need to be completely single. And I think that was another hard conversation, tough. But very tough. Necessary. So we broke up from our little schoolyard love note. That was another breakup.
And that's the thing, like, and again, like what you said, before, it's like we are, looked at as this couple who did everything right, or they seem like they just have the perfect life. But we went through some things that we didn't necessarily have to go through. I mean, everybody's going to go through some trials and tribulations, some setbacks in their relationships. But there were certain things that was kind of like self-inflicted. Yeah. But the point is that we're no stretch of the imagination perfect. In our efforts to get to where we are right now.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So Twan finished that book. A lot of people thought, a lot of people thought that at your book release, because once he was done with the book, he ask me to. No, but before you even say that though, because I got to say this, I have to shout Ariane out on this. So that was 2017 is when I released the book. I did a book release at Cleveland State, where I graduated from. We did it in the ballroom. Dope. That was probably one of the most special moments of my life. But what was so special about that as it relates to you is that I was getting to the point where I was like, I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm trying to make it happen. And you gave me the final $1,000 to get that book done. You gave me that. I think that was in December. That was a sugar mama move.
Yeah, but I was just like, man, this is my wife. And that was in December. I remember we was sitting we was like parked over there in University by University Hospital, and you had
It was
sent me
probably
that
like
money.
some college refund money or something.
Oh, whatever. But that like was like, man, like she did that for me. So, you know, fast forward 2017 January, you know, I call you on stage and everybody got their cameras out.
Yes, he called me on stage because, like he said, I had invested in a process to help you finish the book and, you know, everything that you wanted to do with the opening. And then I, along with another good friend of ours, edited the book. And you were calling me up to thank me for everything that I had put into the book, the event, the editing process. And a lot of people thought that it was a proposal coming. So we looked out and I didn't think it was a proposal. I knew we weren't at that point. But looking out, I instantly knew when everybody had their phones out that they thought it was a proposal.
Yeah.
So
I'm just thinking like they just recording the moment.
Yeah.
It's not even registering to me like, oh, they think that I'm about to propose.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So it was January of 2017. In October of 2017,
I proposed.
you actually did
I
propose.
proposed, and I proposed at the PIA tour. So if anyone who doesn't know, that's the tour that Jackie Hill Perry, Preston Perry, Ezekiel, Joe Solomon, Chris Webb, they all, you know, do, and Genetics.
Yeah.
And Ariane absolutely loves poetry, spoken word. And I remember reaching out to Chris Webb, and I'm like, man, would y'all be willing to allow us to do this, you know, at y'all event? And he was like, you know, I'll let you know, I'll get back to you. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So me and Ariane, I think that was like August. No, that was like July of 2017. Then me and you got into an argument. And I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not thinking about that, you know, that proposal, man. We gotta work through this stuff. So I never followed back up. I never talked to him. But then like later, like a couple months later, I remember I'm like, you know what, I gotta stop with this going back and forth stuff. Like every time we get into an argument, I'm not sure. Every time we get into an argument, I'm hesitating. Like it was very immature of me. And I'm like, you know what, I'm about to do this. I love this woman. We both are committed to each other. Like the issues that we're going through is like based on us learning each other, growing through, you know, through the issues of our heart or whatever the case may be, learning how to communicate, all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm like, you know what, I'm about to just do this. I'm about to propose. And me and DJ went to get we went ring shopping. And I'm looking, and I remember we was at K's. And I remember going in that spot, and I'm looking, I can't find anything. I'm like, you know what, it's cool. We didn't see anything. Let's just roll. As we're walking out, it's like the ring just magically appeared. And I'm like,
Did you hear something like,
I'm like, it might have been. It might have been. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, look. I'm like, can you show me that one? I'm like, DJ. I'm like, this is it. Now to this, I have proof of this. All right, I got
Okay.
proof of this. I ended up purchasing the ring. Literally, when I say literally,
The very second.
like the very second after I purchased that ring, Chris Webb sends me a text message and says, "Are we still on for the proposal?" Literally. I mean, I'm not talking about like, you know, 3 minutes,
Confirmation.
5 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm talking about seconds after I made that purchase. Chris Webb sends me a message. I showed DJ. I'm like, DJ, look at this. And I just felt like this overwhelming peace. Like, this is my girl. Like, we locked in. And me and DJ was in a parking lot, like, hugging each other, jumping up and down.
high-fiving?
And then, oh my gosh. So I remember calling your cousin. I remember
Yes.
calling Chrissy.
Big blunder.
And I'm like, Chrissy, like, you know, I got the ring. And then something happened where you ended up calling.
I was calling at the same time you were on the phone with Chrissy.
No. So I was talking to Chrissy about the ring. And then the phone got disconnected. So I don't know what happened. The phone got disconnected. But so I picked the phone back up to call Chrissy. But when I was calling Chrissy, you were literally calling at the same time. So when I click my phone, I'm thinking I'm talking to Chrissy. So I'm like, yeah, I got it. It's like a carrot. And you was like, huh? So what'd you say? And I looked at the phone, I'm like, and I just hung up the phone. And then I remember calling Chrissy. I'm calling Chrissy, but I'm like, Chrissy, I think I just blew it. I think I just blew it. She's like, what? I'm like, man, I was telling her. So she's like, oh my God, Ari, I'm calling you right now. I'm like, talk to her.
Yeah, so I called her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on with Twan. He was talking about some ring, like some carrot. I don't know what he was saying. And she
Yeah.
was like, oh, like just completely like, oh, I don't know. Like, you know, she said that. So then Twan calls me back and says that he was playing a prank on his mother. And being just like, I'm really not that oblivious.
But you know
think
that because I play with
he
my
plays with his mother all the time.
Mm-hmm.
His mother knew we had an argument earlier. And so I'm thinking like, oh, she just, you know what I mean? Like he really was playing with his mom. So I didn't
Yeah.
think nothing of it. I was just like, oh, okay. And just went back to
Yeah.
my,
Because
what I was doing.
I was saying like, oh, I was acting like I was talking to my mother about, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like this ring I got. I thought that was her. I don't know. Whatever the story was, I don't know. It was like on the spot. It was kind of scary how I just lied that good.
And how I just believed
And you just
that.
believed that. But I guess we were like, because we had like, you know, some frustrations. It wasn't like,
Yeah, it
nah,
was like,
you can't
no.
be doing this.
Yeah, that was not even a thought in my mind.
So I had the ring. I literally, you know, I went over to her father's house. You know, I showed him the ring, got his blessing. Days later, I sent out a text to everybody, like, you know, because I knew it was important for your family to be there. You know, I told my family, all of our friends.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it like when we had got there. Oh no! Before we left at your house, I picked you up. What did I say? Like we had to turn back around and get something.
Turn back around because of all the days we were going to this event and I had taken all of my nails off.
She
And I
ain't
have
see the size,
anything on my nails. They were so bare. And I remember Twan being like, wait, like, why aren't your nails, like, what's wrong with your nails? Now, mind you, this should have been another sign, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do you
But-
care?
But why wasn't it?
It wasn't a sign because Twan is a nail person. He will notice a chipped nail from across the room.
Yeah, don't come around me with no chip nails.
Chip polish is not his thing. So I didn't think anything of that either.
Yeah.
I was just like, you're right. Let me go put some polish on them. So luckily we had enough time. We turned around.
Yeah.
I went in the house. I am great with a quick little 5-minute manicure now.
Yeah, you are.
So that is what we did when we went
Yeah.
back to. We'll have to tell the actual proposal story because that's a story in
Yeah.
itself. We'll
Yeah.
tell that another time. But
Yeah.
a few hours later, we
Yeah.
were engaged.
Yeah, so and real quick, so when we had got there, I had gave Ezekiel my
So
my
you gonna
ID.
tell it?
No,
you
I
wanna tell the
ain't
proposal
no, I ain't got to go. But I gave him my ID, whatever. But the whole time, like as the event was going on, I couldn't really focus because I'm just so nervous. But long story short, I ended up going up there. He called me up like, "Hey, somebody lost their ID." I go up on stage. I'm like, you know, thank you, blah blah blah. But the real reason I'm here is because of this woman. She still don't even realize what's going on. She walks up on stage, she's looking around like, and when she seen her family and when she's seen our family and friends come out, that's when she knew. And
That's part of the proposal story in a
yeah,
nutshell.
yeah,
Yes.
and the rest is history.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
I was telling Twan earlier today that 4 years it feels like a long time and no time at all.
Yeah, would you say like college? You know, well, you know, college nowadays it's like 5 years.
I mean, I finished in 4.
I finished in 4 too. I just got kicked out twice. So no,
No
actually,
shade. No shade to anybody who
I
didn't.
finished in 4. I got kicked out of school twice, and then I started over and finished in 4 years. Yeah, I might have graduated later, but I did finish in 4 years.
Once you were serious
Once
about
I was
it.
serious,
Yes.
yeah. You know, 1 felony and couple, you know, suspensions, and got expunged though.
Yeah,
you know,
listen, we're going to tell them about it all.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
going to tell you about it all.
Yeah.
More of our story, more
Yeah.
of the things that we've learned and experienced in this 4 long, short
Yeah.
years
Long,
of
short, yeah.
years of marriage.
Yeah.
It's really been a journey.
It's definitely
I'm
been a journey.
excited about our continued journey.
Yeah.
Everything that we have overcome.
Yes.
Looking forward to the things that are still to come.
Yeah, life is really unprecedented. Like we are in an unprecedented season. It's like every year is something new.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, jobs, businesses, you know, marriage, moving, you know, new places, our baby girl now. You know, it's just always like something new. And I'm just looking forward to, you know, to continue to build.
Absolutely. So as we continue this journey, we hope that you will come along with us, listen in, take a peek into our conversations, and take
absolutely.
something from it.
Yeah. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue to, drop this content. We can give you all some things that are informative, that are inspiring, that are encouraging to help you all to grow. But make sure y'all like, comment, and share. And we look forward to continuing this moving forward.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Peace.